I'm Andrea. I'm a student at Idlewild Arts Academy in California. I love being a boarding student. Boarding school is like the best. It's an amazing experience. You get to know a lot of people from all over the world, and I have a lot of friends from all over the world. Like many people from all over the United States, more Mexicans from other parts of Mexico, Colombians, Canadians, South Korea, China, Taiwan, Germany, Austria, Hawaii, and like stuff. And I love boarding school because you have like freedom from your parents and they're not always in control, so that's like fun because you like feel free. And I would never ever regret making this choice of going to Idlewild because I love boarding school. It's really fun and it's life-changing and it's an amazing experience, and I feel like everyone should do it at one point in their life, like go to another place where you haven't lived your entire life. And it's pretty fun to me. Like I would never ever back down from going there. Like I love it there. I love it. I'm really happy there. And yeah, like my studies have improved, my dancing has improved, like everything has improved, even as a person. Like I get to know people's different languages, which is pretty fun, and their culture, which is really interesting if you get to know them really well. And yeah, it's an amazing experience for me. I would never ever change it for anything in the world.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm from New Zealand and I've had 3 years at Idlewild Arts Academy, which is a boarding school in California. And my boarding school experience has been amazing. It has made me grow in so many different ways with my normal schooling, my academics and my dance training, but also as a person, because you have to be independent for yourself, but you also learn to rely on others, because when you're living in a hallway of all your friends, you learn that they're always there for you. It can be really hard, of course, moving away from your family and your friends and your home and what you know, but the struggles make it worth it at the end, because you can see how much you've grown and see how strong you are when you get through those things. And when you push through that, that's when you get to the full benefits of where you are. Being at boarding school makes your relationships grow even more, because it's like having a childhood friend that you've known for 15 years, you've known your whole life, but you've only known them for a year. But when you're living with them and your rooms are right next to each other, or it's your roommates, you get this bond that you can't have with anyone else, because you're literally living your life and growing so much with that person. Living in a boarding school, it's definitely a different experience than if you're growing up at home, like a different kind of teenage life, because you have to get permission to leave school and you can't just go into town every day. And when you go into town, you only have to get the vans, at least for us anyway. So it's definitely different, but it's got its good things in a different way. Like you're kind of limited in some ways you can live your life, but then that structure can help you, because you might be forced to do things that you wouldn't otherwise do. Like they encourage you to go if we have a school party, someone will encourage you to go, or encourage you to be in your room at a certain time, but then that helps to build habits for the future when you're in college and you're not got these restrictions, but now you've built a routine from that. Overall, in my experience, boarding school has been a great experience and opportunity, because looking now back at where I would be if I'd stayed at home and my public school and how far I've gone going away to boarding school, I'm really lucky that I've been able to have that opportunity.
Boarding school for me was really hard at first because I didn't have my mom there to help me make important decisions and to sort of guide me. But once I got used to it and I was more adjusted and adapted to boarding school, and in the end it really benefited me and it taught me valuable life lessons. And boarding school also for me made me very independent, and I learned how to make responsible, good choices. And I also met a lot of great friends and people there who helped me along the way. And I think even though boarding school was hard for me at first, my life is forever changed because of it, and it's changed for the better.
Boarding school for me was really a really hard experience at first because you're by yourself and you have to learn how to be really independent. So that means you get to do your own laundry. You need to wake up by yourself because your mom's not going to be there to wake you up. But it's good, you know, you learn how to be independent, which actually helps you with real life. And you get to meet so many people from around the world and people who are so different from your culture and where you live. So I got to meet people from every part of the world. I know people from Korea, Japan, the United States, China. It's so surreal for me. And you also get to experience life without your parents, which, I mean, it can be really hard at first, but it was a really good experience for me. But it was challenging at times when I first got there because, of course, the main language was English. So you got to speak English really a lot because that's the only way you could communicate. So of course I knew English before I went there, but I really hadn't spoken the language fully. Having a conversation 24/7 with someone in English is really different from studying English and having an English class at your school. But at the end, I'm really grateful for the experience. It has taught me so many things in life that I'm so grateful to have, and I met so many amazing people, and I'm so happy I went to boarding school.